Hello, Palladium fans. We're here with a bonus episode for the official history of Palladium Books because it is that time of year when the weather gets colder, the leaves start to change on the trees if you're in a certain farther north than I live. And the minds of Palladium's gamers turn towards the Christmas surprise package. So we thought we'd take a little bit of time and talk about where that came from and how that became an annual tradition at Palladium Books. So Kevin, thank you for joining me on this.
Yeah, no problem. And the reason I thought it'd be a good idea to do an episode on the surprise package, which some people may be thinking, what the heck? It's not actually a product. It's kind of a promotional thing, but it's become so much more than that. And it's so important to so many people, including myself. We love doing the surprise package because it really is a Christmas or holiday, because it doesn't have to be just for, Christians who believe in Christmas or Jesus. It's just a cool holiday thing that I love doing. So I grew up poor, and for half of my childhood, I always wanted to be able to buy people gifts to, especially people I love, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, your favorite aunt, your brother, your cousins, that kind of thing. And we couldn't really do it. And so when Palladium became successful, I tended to throw big Christmas parties and give out, way over the top gifts to people because I knew they would love it. And so one day, Mary Ann comes up to me and says, why don't we do some kind of promotion to get rid of all these slightly damaged books? We had like several hundred books that had little dings or dents or scuffs or scratches that honestly most gamers don't notice or don't care about because they're going to beat the shit out of the books because they're going to use the heck out of them, right? Yeah. I sign books that look like they've gone through World War III. Maybe all three wars, it kind of thing. And it's like, holy moly. But that's awesome. I love seeing, well-loved books.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be a cool idea. And right away, and part of it was the time of year that she mentioned it. I think it was around September, October. And I thought, yeah, we could make it a Christmas surprise package kind of offer. But what can we do to make it really cool? Because whether I'm writing something or doing some kind of promotion, I want to try to do stuff that's different and fun.
Yeah.
And it'll surprise people and put a smile on their faces. And I came up with a Christmas surprise package. And I said, yeah, we'll put everything on sale basically at Palladium. And it's a surprise package because we asked them to send us a list of like 12, 15 items, books, T-shirts, coffee mugs, art prints, whatever. They put that into a list. And then we also ask other information that's helpful for us in pooling these items. And then originally it was only like, I think, $25 or $30 for, a $50 surprise package.
Yeah.
Of course, everything, when Ninja Turtles came out, it was a whopping $9.95.
Yeah.
1935. Nowadays, geez. But anyway, so we had this, and the idea was people would send in their wish list, and they would also tell us what their favorite books were, what their favorite games were, whether they wanted autographs or not, because I thought that'd be a cool thing. And again, for my comic book background, I loved getting autographs from artists and writers. And I thought, hey, we'll autograph these books for people if they want them. And this will be a cool thing. And then when I get the list sent in, when they send in their order and they fill out the form and I get the list, I personally read through it. I'm the guy who reads any comments that are in there. And please, folks, keep them brief. Because some people, you'll get a 3-page dissertation and you're like, yikes, I got a gazillion of these things to read and go through. But we love reading these things. And I go through, and out of those 12 or 15 items that are listed, I pick out, well, back in the day, it was, $50 worth of product. Nowadays it's like, $100, $110 worth of product for your $60 plus shipping. And It's awesome because when that box arrives, and you've gotten them.
Yeah, I don't know what's in them.
You don't know what's in them. And if you tell us, I would like to try, excuse me, if you'd like to try this or that, I keep that in mind. I'll look and it's like, oh, he'd like to try Nightbane. So maybe I'll, and that's not on his list of 15 items. So I'll throw in a Nightbane RPG or an issue of the Rifter that has a bunch of Nightbane material in it. And we used to give out art. I mean, these days, digital art is what most people work in, and physical art's worth a ton of money these days.
Yeah.
So we can't give away art like we used to, which we did up until like 2 or 3 years ago. But art prints, those are fair game. And anyways, you get your box and you have no idea what's in it.
Yeah.
And you open it up and you're like, oh, there's this or that. And oh my gosh, Kevin threw in a print. Or oh my gosh, there's that Nightbane. I wasn't expecting that. Or holy, look at all the autographs. There's almost always at least 5 of us in there, and sometimes more, whatever poor freelancer who happens to walk through our door during Christmas grab bag season. It's like, hey, good to see you. Signed you the stack of 200 books. And, it just, and when they go, well, but I'm like, it makes the fans happy.
Yeah.
And that makes me happy. I love Christmas. My mom and dad, even though we were poor, they were always great about making sure we got something that we really wanted for Christmas. And they were also smart. They would buy little things, like my little brother and I were both into comic books. So, and this was like doubly smart because anyone who has kids know that on Christmas, your boys and girls are up at like crack o' dawn.
Uh-huh.
Santa came in the night and let's have it, man. So at 5 a.m., they're, Mom, Dad. And most kids sleep like rocks, right? So my dad would come in and slip a stack of comic books, like 20, 30 comic books that he'd buy at like the discount store. And even less than cover, and put them under the bed. And so we'd wake up and like, Santa brought us comics. And that would keep us busy for 2 hours because we have to read them all, right?
Right. No. Things like that, or in my house, it was the stockings. You got to open the stockings as much as, whenever you woke up. That was basically a delay tactic that I have adopted in my house because that lets me sleep an extra hour or two.
Absolutely. And so I was lucky, too. For me, my grandparents lived next door. My mom and dad, or my mom's parents lived next door. And so we celebrated Christmas on Christmas Eve at Grandma and Grandpa's house. Mm-hmm. And then with Mom and Dad on Christmas morning. So it was awesome because you had these 2 days in a row of Christmas. Yeah. And, you get all the normal stuff. Great, thanks, Ma. Underwear.
That's right.
Thanks, Grandma.
A sweater.
I need those, or a sweater, exactly. Like, and you did need them, but as a kid, you're like, I appreciate it. And then you got the cool stuff, which was, your action figures or books or art supplies or paper to draw on, in my case, and, that kind of stuff. And I really wanted to capture that kind of excitement and fun with the Christmas surprise packages. Yeah. And I think we've done it really successfully because it was supposed to be a one-shot thing. Right. And even if that one-shot, Mary Ann's like, well, Kev, we've got like 500 books, but you're launching it pretty early, like end of October. I think the first year we probably did it the end of October, right after Halloween, maybe November 1st. She goes, we're going to blow through these, I'm pretty sure. And then what? And I'm like, that's okay. It's a way to, get rid of these slightly damaged books and make people happy. And then whatever else they want, we'll just throw in. We're still getting it as if, we're selling it to distributors. It's not like we're losing money on this.
Right.
And they're happy because they're getting a great deal plus autographs and maybe a sketch. And we're happy because we're getting rid of stock we don't feel comfortable selling, and we're making people happy.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So now, little did we imagine that we'd get like 2,000 requests for grab bags. which means, a typical grab bag has 4 or 5, sometimes 6 books in a package.
Yeah.
We signed like 10,000 books between the beginning of the grab bag season, which is typically middle of October, till the middle of January. But it's okay. And we try to have fun with it. If people ask for one of my Dragonhead sketches, I'm happy to do it. They send in crazy requests, and this isn't to spark people asking all kinds of crazy stuff, because, we can't always do it. And in peak season after Black Friday, oh my gosh, all we do seriously is just process grab bags. We get so many between that time and Christmas. So it's hard to be creative and silly. But for example, when we were giving out art, I would, we'd assign a value to the art, and I would have a little certificate of authenticity. And I'd fill out what the estimated value, who the artist was, that kind of thing, some little spiel, and I'd sign it. And one day, a guy says, "I would like to have Kevin Simbita's left shoe." And at first, we're all like, "What the?" And then we're like, "Well, he's being silly." And it's like, I got an old pair of Reeboks. Yeah. So I get it. I sign, and he wants autographs. So I sign my shoe in like silver paint pen, and I even went out and I crossed out all this art, and I would put this shoe, and the value of my left shoe was priceless.
That's right.
Right, because who can assess the value on that? Yeah. And I sent it out to him, and he went wild over it. Just loved it.
That's awesome.
That was cool. It was funny. I deliberately kept the right shoe, and like 4 or 5 years later, someone had heard this story on some podcast or something I had done, and he was like, "Can I get Kevin's right shoe?" And I'm like, "You got it, buddy."
That's right. I've been waiting for this day.
We've had other weird requests, like can I get something signed from the desk of Kevin Simbita? And that might be a notepad, or like I had an old stapler, but not this one, because even though it's old and beat up, I love it, and it's been with me for like 40 years. And so I signed the stapler and sent it out, and just goofy stuff, and we just have a blast making people happy, and we know we make people happy. What's that?
Like, you do it every year, which is just outstanding.
And a little crazy. I've had competitors come in, especially when they come in when we happen to be in the middle of grab bag season, and they're like, "How much time does this take?" And I'm like lots. And they're like, "Shouldn't you be like writing and doing other things?" And I like, maybe, but I'm making people happy from around the world. I am like a freaking surrogate Santa Claus. I mean, and I love it. And how many gamers? Plus, it really helps a lot of wives and parents and people who aren't gamers to say, "Hey, I want to order a grab bag for my husband. I asked him what books he might want, and this is all I could get out of him." Or I went and looked on his shelf, and he's got every world book, Rift's World book up until, whatever. Or, he's been talking about that Palladium Fantasy red foil edition, and how he needs to get it sometime, but we don't have a lot of money and he can't get it. It'd be wonderful if you put that into a surprise package. It's like, yes, I am thrilled to do it. And so anyways, we do the first year, and we thought this is a one shot. And it went gangbusters, and we're like, wow, that was astonishing. And the next year, we had no intention of doing it. And we start to get requests about it, really starting in like June. You're going to do the grab bags again this year? And we're like, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. And we kept getting more and more information. We go to Gen Con, and a lot of people are buying up a ton of stuff. And like, I love the grab bag. The surprise package was amazing. You're going to do that again this year, right? And we're like, maybe. And so many people asked for it. We said, okay, we'll do it again this year.
But only this year.
Yes, and that's it. We're not going to do it anymore. And then just we'd get all these comments from people. That's the great thing. You get that order in, and in the comments section is like, oh, I just loved it so much, or I got it for my nephew, or and it was fantastic because I never know what to get him, and he went crazy over it. And especially because a lot of times I'll put in little notes on like on a Post-it, and just little things like maybe Merry Christmas, enjoy this. Oh, and especially if like a new player. Oh, this is the first time I'm starting Palladium Fantasy. I've heard so much about it. And it's like, oh, I really hope you like it. I think you'll enjoy this selection of books. Merry Christmas, ho, 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 Kevin Sambita. And people are like, holy crap, Kevin Sambita sent a note to me. And I get it because I would have crapped my pants with Stan Lee.
Right?
Or Ditko or Walt Disney sent me even a little stinking note on a notepad. I would have went, holy crap, this is, someone who I appreciate and revere as a creative talent. And, and it's just, I don't know, it just feels so worth it to make people happy and know that when they open up that package, 999 out of 1,000 are going to go, oh, this is great. I love it. Yeah. Thank you. And that's what the holidays are all about. And the fact that we can do that, I just love it. I wanted to talk about it with these things because it's become an important part of our tradition. I mean, this is the 26th year that we've done these crazy things. And people still love them, and people are discovering them. New people are discovering them every year, and we're thrilled to do it.
Well, it is a truly unique thing in the gaming land space to do something like this, especially for 26 years. And we'll put a link to this year's 2024 Christmas surprise package, which is $60 plus shipping this year, and you're guaranteed upwards of $100 of stuff in your package. I know I'm ordering one this year, and I'm ordering one for a friend in my gaming group. So thankfully, they don't have any Palladium books at this juncture, but they love the art. So.
Well, and we have art books, you know. We've got the Zalesnik art book. We've got the Chuck Walton Future Vision art book.
Yeah.
We've got other books that have a ton of art in it, like Machinations of Doom, Riff's Machinations of Doom, that collects up the Ramon Perez comic strip that first appeared in the Rifter, serialized. And that was just something that Ramon wanted to do to get, his comic book art out there.
Yeah.
And, Ramon's gone on to do art for Spider-Man and Wonder Woman and Thundercats and all kinds of stuff. He's an Eisner, for comic book people out there, he's an Eisner award-winning artist. So, we have some pretty darn good stuff out there. Poker decks.
Yeah.
The miniatures, it's all fair game. You can ask for all that kind of stuff. They're great for gifts. But they're also great for you game masters and even players who want to learn more about the world, to order, to ask for. Now, if you want specific books, that's the only downside to the wish list. We pick what you're going to get, so you don't know. And that's fun. But if you want specific, gosh, I really want this book or that book or these 6 books, you probably should buy it separately, not as a surprise package. And if you buy more than one surprise package, you might get duplicates of items, because we often have a particular item that we're giving out that either fits with some upcoming product or something we made special for it, or something that we think people will like that's kind of general, like we often throw in the Riffs Anthology book and Machinations of Doom, because it's as a graphic novel and Riff source book.
Yeah.
It serves that kind of double thing. And so anyone can read the comic and go, that was fun. Great art, kind of thing. But it's a great way to try new settings, new game worlds. You've always been thinking, man, that Dead Rain sounds cool. It's a great way to try it. But yeah, just have fun with it and spread the word, because the only way people know about the Christmas surprise package is through word of mouth and the Rifter. Those are the only places we used to advertise it.
Yeah.
And flyers that we throw into, mail orders. But so yeah, spread the word. If you think it's cool, or don't, keep it to yourself. If you're buying stuff for a bunch of other people and you don't want them to know that you're getting awesome stuff on the cheap, so that way, you can give someone, $50 or $100 worth of stuff, and they'll go, wow, you must really adore me.
That's right.
and you go, yeah, that's right, I do.
100%. Yeah, no.
You got it for, 30 or 40 or 50% discount. They don't know that. Plus it's signed, and maybe there's a stupid dragon head sketch in there by Moa, and they go, wow, this is amazing. And you're like, that's right, because I'm an awesome human being. So be an awesome human being.
Be an awesome human being. Buy Christmas grab bags for your friends. That's the theme of this video. All right, well, Kevin, thank you so much. We'll be back actually next week. This is a bonus episode, just so we could get the word out about the Christmas surprise package. We'll be back next week with more of the official history of Palladium Books.